it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. And we are zooming in and focusing in today on a great viewer question, and that is, what do you do when music, or a song really kind of triggers you back into thinking about this individual, and you just can't seem to get beyond it? In other words, you don't like the fact that you are triggered just at the drop of a feather, the playing of a song, and you burst out into tears, you start crying, you feel bad, you feel like your day is ruined. How do you really get beyond this? And before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to those of you who have recently stepped up to the plate, put some skin in the game, and donated to the channel. Thank you so much for your contributions and helping to keep the channel alive. Thank you so much for showing me that you connect, you appreciate it, you get this content, and it's worthwhile to you. And as I've stated before, when you really kind of invest in your spiritual support or your psychological, or you kind of get, when you start making investments, it's a sign to your subconscious that you are taking you for real. You're taking your life for real. And it really does come back to you manyfold. It comes back to you tenfold when you do that. You really show and make a statement to yourself. So it's the behavior really, that makes that adjustment and helps to take you to the next level. And when you invest in books as well. So thank you so much. And for those of you who do want to give back to the channel, you absolutely positively can. Right on the home about button, there is a little PayPal donate now button. You can go ahead and make your contribution to us here, and that would be very well appreciated. So thank you so much. And we're zooming in and focusing a little bit more in depth, as this viewer stated that this, when she hears music or a certain performer or certain group, she just, begins to cry. This is very common with people who have been in hurtful, breaking heart relationships. You might see a specific TV show that reminds you of them. Certain music, certain venues, certain restaurants, certain hotels, certain states, certain professions. You can have this correlation, this tie with them. And you're going to, if you have that grief, if you have that pouring out, it's actually a healthy thing, because you do, if you have gone through emotionally manipulative relationship with someone who used you, abused you, played you, betrayed you, cheated, that's not such a good guy. That's not such a good girl. It's saying, that hurt. This has hurt my feelings. It's hurt my heart. And, I feel that I might not get through it, but, crying and feeling emotional, especially in the beginning, especially if you're a lot younger, like in your teens or 20s, even your 30s, you're going to have more of an incidence of those tearful days. And that is actually okay. It's getting it out, and you're kind of like getting it out, and you're there for yourself. So you do need to work through the stages of grief, but, understand that it's important for you to take the music back. It's important for you to take the restaurant back. It's important for you to take the profession back. It's important for you to take the idea of family back. It's important for you to take art back, or movies back, or whatever it is that you had shared in depth with them, and you had a trauma bond that maybe where you were played, emotionally abused, manipulated, not treated well. You need to take back that experience, that artist, that music, and look at it anew and say, you know what? I am a healthy, strong individual, and I deserve better. I don't deserve to get played. So, the fool, maybe I played the fool. Maybe I was young. I didn't know better. I had a slip of judgment. I forgive myself, though, because what it is to be human. If you can't deal with making mistakes, that is what it is to be human. And someone who judges you, or if you're judging yourself, you're beating yourself up for making a mistake, or staying with someone too long, or not knowing what to do, not knowing what was plaguing you, entering into defense mechanisms like bulimia and anorexia. These are defense mechanisms meant to help protect you from something very painful. So I call that negative orderly direction thinking, when you enter down into the eating disorders, the the binge eating, the gambling, the the self-sabotage, the cutting, or whatever it is that people do that take them down, down even darker. And these defense mechanisms are meant to protect you. It's kind of like throwing a blanket on. A blanket can be a blessing, or a blanket can blanket the light. In other words, for example, I was in a Nordstrom's, which is a department store, and I was in the restroom. I was in the bathroom, and in the stall, 2 people away from me was a gal. I could just see her shoes. They were facing the toilet, but she was obviously sticking her fingers down her throat, making herself gag, and then I heard, all this vomiting going on. In other words, she had just eaten something and now she is purging it out because she did not want those calories. So that is a defense mechanism. That is, a coping skill. That is meant to stir up and confuse her, all of her neurochemistry, the nutrition you're supposed to get from, eating, and then all the enzymes, and then all those enzymes are coming out your throat. That is not a healthy physical state. It's not a healthy psychological state. It's not good for your future planning. It's not helping you process and work through your issues successfully. It is a stuck space. And so, in other words, she is still, crying the tears of the music, even though the music is not playing. In other words, if you are still triggered in this way, and this is a very intense example, but I want you to understand how it comes to life or how it is expressed emotionally within you. So it's okay to cry, but taking back the music, taking back the art, taking back the restaurant. I have a lot of viewers who are scared to leave their home because they're so afraid that they're going to be seen or recognized by this individual, and they feel so weak, they feel so meek that they cannot, what would happen? They would be laughed at, they would be shamed, they would be humiliated, they would have to be admitting defeat. No, if you feel that way, it is because you're beating yourself up over something that is fearful and false evidence appearing real. So in other words, you're taking their judgment at face value, and it is an erroneous judgment that they are making. It is when you're emotionally played, hurt by an emotional abuser, it has everything to do with them and their insecurity and how they control others. It has nothing to do with you. You were targeted, you were supply, you were in proximity, you were within friendly fire range, you were in the area. So, come out of that bystander state where you're kind of still in you're kind of replaying the hurts of your emotional connection. You're still replaying the wounds, which is important because you want to work through it and then make decisions, and most importantly, arrive at your lessons learned. In other words, I learned that I need someone who respects me. I learned that I need someone with empathy. I learned that you can't judge a book by its cover. I learned that I, am going to be very sad if I don't have my needs met. I learned that, going down this path too far and reducing my boundaries and my standards too far is going to cause me heartache and heartbreak, and I don't want to enter into Heartbreak Valley anymore. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. It wasn't that great. I would, if you've been there, I hear you, but I would not go back, so many times, because eventually you're going to come out scarred, mangled. You're going to have, shrapnel, in your skin, and a lot of splinters that you're going to have to get out. And, it's going to hurt, and you're going to have to take a lot of time to get that, the shrapnel out of your skin. Like, it's, that is the soldier. We all, we didn't think we were going to be soldiers, but we're all eventually going to be soldiers and fighting for the learning. We're all going to have to come through those battles. In other words, not necessarily fight, but those emotional battles, which we have, had to conquer within ourselves. We don't want to conquer the narcissist. That's a fruitless battle. it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to give you a victory. It's going to give you more victimization. So come out of that feeling of the victim. Begin to look at it with new eyes and see that you were growing, that you were trying, you entered into the relationship with all the best intentions, with love. You wanted the real thing. This person couldn't deliver. They weren't boyfriend, girlfriend material. They weren't relationship material. They're not commitment material. They are not that material. Contrary to the appearance that you thought or what they said or, whatever happened, if they told you whatever it is that you wanted to hear, then that, realize that is what those abusers do. So you can kind of then work through the process of guilt and say, okay, I can put that to rest now. I understand what happened. I'm going to hold my head up high. I'm going to continue to smile. I'm going to, surround myself with people who are smiling. And even if it makes me a little uncomfortable, because I'm not feeling the up, I'm not feeling the juice, I'm not feeling all fancy free, I'm at least going to smile within myself. It's so important to smile. If you go through days and days and you're not smiling at, something that you're reading or watching or doing or giggling or looking at a baby and going, oh my God, you're so cute. I can't believe, you've pigtails this big. That's so, if you're not entering into that smile state, you're depriving yourself of happiness and joy. So I would encourage you to look at the repertoire, the spectrum of your feelings during the day and see where you can kind of enrich and expand and grow your feeling states. And you look at the kind of your day and the idea of a percentage, am I spending too much of my percentage of the day in the dark with the shades drawn, dressed in dark clothes with a grimace on my face or a frown, in the pity party, and I'm getting snacks for the pity party. I'm just stuffing my feelings, and look at that and say, you know what? Isn't there, can I do a little better? Is there a place, can I get, maybe a bright shirt? Can I get some bright shoes? Can I get a bright scarf? Can I get, a bright t-shirt? Can I get rid of some of this darkness? Can I open up some windows? Can I get a plant? Can I get a little tree? Can I put something in the garden that I can grow and connect with that's going to love me, that wants me to put Miracle Grow on it? Can I do something where I have a positive influence and really kind of put in some new roots so that you could hear that music once again and begin to smile and still do your dance like nobody's watching and still love that song, and still love that band and love that singer and own it for yourself. And don't feel held back that you can't go to the concerts, you can't, play them on the radio and feel hurt. Can you see how you can then experience that individually, autonomously on your own? And then even more, find yourself a little new band, song, favorite song. You make your own and really own it. But don't feel you have to disown all your previous loves because of this person. Take back the restaurant. Take back the music. Take back the art. Take back your town. If they're so hideous that you need to move, we have, people here who are stalked. It is a serious matter, and you need to engage the police. You might say, you know what? It's time for me to have a good country life or a good city life, whatever it is, where I can get, the H away from this gunk. So you might really need to up and move, but it is up to you, and you can do it. You can make these changes, but take back, those positive experiences. Continue to go to music concerts, dance concerts, movies, going to workshops, going to shows, going to pursue your interests. Take that back. It's not good to give your joy away to somebody else, because then you're basically like, opening up your heart and saying, take all what's good. I don't need anything left for me. That's, let's turn that around. Let's close it up. Let's protect your heart and know that, you deserve to have those positive emotional states without them, putting a needle into you and feeling that you have to have your joy withdrawn from you while you're still listening to the music. So it's good to grieve, but take back the joy or at least the positive rhythm that you felt in that music, or whatever it is you experience, so that you feel healed. It takes time, but begin to get it in your perspective. Begin to have positive visualization of yourself enjoying it, getting into it again. Take it back. Don't try to lessen the impact, lessen the blow, buffer the blow, but really get that energy back. It's a permission state and saying, you know what? It's not that bad. I am magnificent. I am strong. I am wonderful, and I enjoy this music, and amen, let me have it. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.